Hello, and welcome to WTH, Three Roses Podcast. We are your hosts, Deb and the Twins. Let's talk news, politics, culture, entertainment, and WTH moments. Yep, we've got a lot to talk about. Let's get started.
Welcome to Three Roses Podcast with Deb and the Twins. Today we are discussing the Democratic National Convention. And to start off, I can say, wow. Finally, we see unity. And when you compare the Democrats' convention with the Republican, it is night and day. And I'm going to start off with Stephanie Gresham.
I wasn't just a Trump supporter. I was a true believer. I was one of his closest advisors. The Trump family became my family.
She actually was the White House press secretary, and she was criticized for not having a lot of press conferences. And she got on and she said she was not like Trump. She did not want to get up there in front of of America and lie. And so you got people from the Republican Party who are coming out and telling the truth. And that's what we need. We need the Republican Party leadership to come out and tell the truth and say, this is not what America needs. Your thoughts, ladies?
Well, I like to say that I was very, very excited to see Hillary Clinton. She looks very well. And what one of her statements was that we need to work harder. And I really want to thank her for stepping out on a limb and thanking Joe Biden for understanding that this election was not about him, but it was about the people, the country. So, and she gave an excellent speech thanking him for everything that he's done those last 4 years that he's been in office. So I want to say hands up to Hillary Clinton, and she looked very well.
Yeah, I agree. She did a great job being able to basically have a good speech as well as to basically make that handover from her to the VP. Harris as another woman potentially capable and ready to become the next president of the United States. I think she did a very good job. I also liked the Obamas.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black. I want to know, who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before. And we all know that the sequel is usually worse. America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a president, Kamala Harris.
I really do think we're ready. I think the spirit of the country has changed. I think we still have a few naysayers, but overall, I think that people are seeing the vision, that we're uniting as one country, that there are more, people are more like us. People are more like each other than the differences. And when you have a leader that's there, that's uniting people and talking about what we have in common instead of differences, when you have a leader that's out there encouraging others and not talking down to others, I think we're ready.
The sequel is worse. So I'm hoping that people will not vote based on one issue or one thing, but look at Trump's policies and his rhetoric overall and say, hey, we don't need this.
Because I think it's about is time out for normal people, or as their what's working for them, which is very strange to me that bullies fall for the word weird. But because they are so weird, um, I think it's time out for people to stop giving them that grace. People don't want to cause confusions. They don't want to push. They don't want to call people out on their BS. And basically, people are normally set up to not be confrontational. And I think that they have some kind of way, come up with a way in order to find the Republican Party and Trump flat footed on just basically being real people. And I think the negativity is getting old, that he has. I think his drone of just a bunch of just talking like a person who is elderly and suffering for some issues, to be quite frank and honest, has gotten, it used to be cute. I guess it used to be something that people felt like was a good thing. It's not coming across as that right now,
Mm-mm.
with continued lies and the rambling on and the not picking up your sentences, but talking about, think people who are like caricatures, and making threats to America, and seeing us as being trash, and literally saying we are as a country. And we talked about that in the House because normally United States citizens with their patriotism, normally will not allow a person to talk negatively about their country. So the person who was the past president of the United States, looking to be the next president of the United States, seeing it as nothing other than trash under his feet, is kind of interesting, and I think that's not working.
Exactly. I agree. I want to piggyback off of what Jamie Raskin, representative from Maryland, said. He said it's a democratic democracy convention, a freedom convention. So this is what this convention is about: democracy and freedom. This has to be our pick, so we have to be ready. If not, we're going to get the second episode of Trump, which is going to be worse. Right now we're waiting to see what's happening. After we finish episode 1, when we binge watching Netflix, what's going to happen? It's going to get worse. Something else is going to happen. So we don't want to go to episode 2. We don't.
And I'm gonna piggyback off of our own Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock, where he said that 2020 was about healing, healing from the pandemic, the rhetoric of Trump. So that's what it was about: healing and moving our country back to where it needs to be. But one of the things that I took away, for us, coming from a family of faith, he said that Trump is a threat to the covenant. He says, walk kindly with your God. He didn't give the scriptures, but Micah 6:8, he said, love thy neighbor as thyself. Leviticus 19:18. He also said, wherever you do for the least of these, you did it for me. And that struck home because, it says that talks about love. And so if you're going to be for the least of these, the people who are hungry, the people who are out, you're doing for me. That's what the Lord is saying. But if you're having somebody who's in leadership who has hatred for people, or better yet, only see the good, or trying to help those who are already wealthy, what are you doing for the people? And that's what we need. We need someone in office who is here for the people.
And it's as if there's some kind of hysteria that's going around with the right-wing evangelical church members as it relates to Christianity, because I'm more than sure that all our denominations in our faith understand that at the core of being a Christian means love. It starts with love.
It
It
does.
started with love. It
Yes.
is love. And so what we've been experiencing, I don't have a word for it outside of, going into later chapters in the Bible, is that the fact that there's a lot of people just basically running to grab hold and become enamored and almost hysterical about this form of what they're saying is real Christianity. And I'm at a loss to find out when these people are actually going to put down that cross and reveal or admit to what they really are. And once we get that, we can move them out the way. And maybe we can convince a couple of people who are still in the middle that this has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that we have people who want to come into this country, who want to run this country in a way that anyone that is different from them are the enemy, is the enemy, and therefore needs no help, no government to govern them outside of being complete and utterly, what is the word I want to say? Um, Filled with penalties. So you want more penalties. You want to actually put in laws to say that if a woman who is suffering from a pregnancy that cannot go to term, that you'd rather her die there on the table. Or if someone actually helps her with the new technology and healthcare that we have can save her life, then death penalty needs to be for that mother or that physician or both.
Right.
Where is where's God in any of this?
Right.
Even if you have the question of talking about abortion as your single issue, is your single issue voting concern, what we're seeing, you have to see that there's minutiae in everything. And what I'm saying is that this one issue thing that has gotten black, white, purple Christians voting against their best interests, that they need to ask the same question. Where is the God in any of this?
Right.
Where is the God and where is the love? And we felt again, we go back, we felt that before. Why all the hatred? They have flags.
We didn't talk about Jasmine Crockett.
And I do have a video. So
Okay,
I'll show that.
can I say it first because I love it?
Oh, I did.
Vindictive-
That's not the one I have.
Okay.
But
Vindictive villain validating voters' vision. Vindictive villain validating voters' vision. That is who Trump is.
The question before us is, will a vindictive, vile villain violate voters' vision? I know a good prosecutor when I see one. Kamala Harris is the kind of prosecutor we long for in the cases like those of Breonna Taylor. Yeah. She was the first attorney general in the nation to order that her officers wear body cams, and she started the Back on Track program to reduce recidivism. Listen, y'all, she did all these things because she genuinely cares about people. She sees each person as just that, a person, not a statistic. She's proven that since the first day she stepped into a courtroom and said what y'all already heard Hillary say, I did not copy out for her speech. I just want y'all to know. She walked into that courtroom and said, Kamala Harris for the people. And she meant that.
I think it was important for her to get that information out about her being a prosecuting attorney and what VP Harris brings to the table, because we're going to have a lot that we need to get up to speed on on what her background is, because there was always negative comments because she was a prosecuting attorney, or negative thoughts about what she did as it relates to Black men, the Black race, and the justice system. And I think that we as Black women can do a good job in making sure that we get the information out of what she actually did and what her background is and what she was able to accomplish while she was a prosecuting attorney.
Thank you for joining Three Roses podcast. If you have any segments that you'd like for us to talk about, please contact us. If you would like to be a sponsor, please contact us as well.